Hello friends and enemies, it's me Isabel here with a fun little vlog I'm doing for you for Christmas time / ridiculousness. So if you're new here, you may not know this, but I occasionally drop, we'll call them unhinged vlogs, in which I read some of the weirdest books I can find. And this holiday season, I wanted to gift you with The Grinch. This is in part inspired by B and her books over on Instagram. She did a whole post of Grinch Rex. I said, let me read all these. So I have a lot of them. I probably won't read all of them. I will link to her post down below on Instagram. It's amazing. But I thought, what better way to gift you the best gift ever, me reading absolutely unhinged romance books and telling you all about them / erotica. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading a whole bunch of Grinch romances. I hope you're excited. I probably might watch the Grinch adaptations while I read Grinch romances because, you know, I've done Krampus and I didn't know I wanted the Grinch this much, but I kinda do, and I don't want to investigate that deeply, okay? We don't need to talk about it in depth. We're just saying we're Grinch-Curious. I think I'm mostly Grinch-Curious because of the fact that, like, it just feels so bananas as a concept that I gotta see where it goes for myself, you know? So I have a whole list of them, and we're gonna go ahead and dive right into me vlogging them and talking about them. I'll have timestamps for you down below if you want to skip around to specific books. And I hope you enjoy the ride. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I will take you through something. It's gonna be something. That's all I got for you. It is gonna be something. There's one that's not unhinged, but the rest of them are absolutely unhinged, so get excited. Okay, so I started Elfed, our first Grinchmas novella. I don't know that this one's specifically Grinch themed, but whatever. She gets Secret Santa'd a dildo, and I'm very uncomfortable with this. I already have extreme secondhand embarrassment, but like basically they're making fun of her for being single. It was weird. I didn't love it. I'm gonna keep going because it's a 20-minute read of that, so I will be back, but just had to get that update. Also in my onesie, because comfort. Okay. I am 60% through Elfed. That went so quickly from like what to what the fuck. First of all she said the magic words apparently, which made him become a real elf, and he appears on her couch as like a hot man, elf man, with like ears that are like twice the size of his head, of course, like very long. And some stuff happens, like they go through a portal, I guess, or whatever, and like his dick's out and it's candy cane striped and seeping liquid that she compares to honey, which made me just so bad. But so she does that happened, and then he like starts making out with her and like is like pushing his giant dick between her thighs. And in doing so, they're making out or whatever. And then he grows extra arms. So now he has 6 arms. He grows 4 more arms. And like is holding her down and all these things. And they're like he's eating her out. Actually, they're not boning. He's eating her out. And he just got her off. And we are entering part 3 of the story. But also his jizz is vanilla frosting scented. This book is like 30 pages, and I'm basically telling you the whole plot. You don't need to read it. But boy, I'm reading something. This is quite the way to kick this vlog up. It is obviously not Grinch, but I feel like it counts because the candy cane dildo. But yeah. I don't know. This one might break me. We'll see. It's book 1 and it might break me. I mean, again, the cover. The cover is very indicative of what was going to happen, and I should have known. I should have known. But yeah, I'm starting part 3. It says I have 9 minutes left. I also have a thing tonight in 15 minutes. So I'm going to read the last 9 minutes after that thing. Okay, so I just finished Elfed, and don't recommend. I'm not reading it. It was weird. It was confusing. He only appears around Yule, and then he goes away again. And Also, she like wakes up covered in frosty strands that I'm still unsure if it was his jizz or if it was frost. Also, it gets worse. He's like, I'm gonna take all of you tonight, and he grows like horns out of nowhere, which like normally I'm a fan of, but like we also grew arms and then horns, and then they banged. His jizz was vanilla frosting and holiday spice flavored and icing consistency, which interesting. Not great. I'm not sure which one I'm going to read next, but I'll come back and tell you when I get there. No rating on this one. Book 1 of Grinchmas is done. I had to read this to read the sequel. I finished Railed by the Reindeer Man, whatever this is called. Oh boy. What do I even tell y'all about this? It was a 15-minute, if that read. Pure chaos. In that 15 minutes, our heroine Candy was fired from her cashier job and now works for the mall Santa, who is named Paul. She calls him like Pervy Paul, something like that. And her outfit is like green tights and like a dress that like covers, but you know, probably doesn't leave much to the imagination, sort of thing. And Pervy Paul is trying to walk in on her changing and does this all the time apparently. Well, she wishes that Santa or someone would make this not be the case, and they Pervy Santa like grabs her butt and she takes off running and ends up like losing her top at some point, is just in a bra, and runs out into traffic, and a big truck like up to here on her truck hits her. But right before she's hit, a large 10-foot tall antlered thing shows up and takes her. And that is our reindeer man. Very strong open in which her legs are in his antlers and he's eating her out. And then she gives him head, and then he fucks her, and then she wakes up in front of them all. Collapsed. I'm not reading this. It was weird. It was so weird. But I'm not reading it because I don't even know what to rate it. It was a time. But next is Groped by the Grinch, where our main character's name is Holly Jolly. So I will be back in like 15 minutes when I've read this one to tell you all about it. Hello. It is snowpocalypse, winter storm apocalypse. There really wasn't that much snow. I'll show y'all later, but I finished my next Grinch book. Actually, 2 more Unhinged Christmas books. So I finished the Melanie Nyx series. So I read Groped by the Grinch. I think that was my favorite out of 3. I think if you're going to read any of them, I think the second one is the best, the Grinch one. But also, Taken by Santa's Elves is not terrible, because they do like some weird thing where they like turn into these like flash of motion and end up somehow she's like in aerial ropes tied up. It was very weird. Anyways, and Groped by the Grinch, he does have a peppermint jizz, so there's that. And that one was a little, made more sense than the first one at least, and was interesting. So she can see the Grinch because she has so much Christmas cheer and spirit, and the Grinch has taken over the store that she's trying to help bring in more customers for Christmas, because he amplifies the energy, aka like the lack of Christmas spirit there. And the store hires her to help like decorate, because her name's Holly Jolly and she runs a business all about Christmas decorating for shops and things. So she does that, and she sees him and he keeps like groping her and things, and then they go in the back room and they get it on, and it was very funny. At one point he's like literally holding her upside down and eating her out, and she is like giving him head, and I just was like, this is a lot happening, and especially in a back room, so not everyone else can see her. So my question is, if anyone had walked in, would they have just seen her floating upside down? Like, that would have been wild. So that's what I want to know. Like, what does it look like to people who can't see him? Anyways, after she bones him, the Christmas cheer is found at the store, and they're like decorating and caroling and all this stuff. Go figure. Then I read Taken by Santa's Elves, and this one had cookie and cream jizz. I almost lost it. I was like, what? This one is about Santa's sister, who is back home for the holidays, sends her brother off on his day. The elves are flirty. One of them keeps winking at her. And the elves are hairy / fuzzy, furry. I don't know. I'm very confused about it. And they are... she's like getting herself off watching like holiday porn parodies. Which, like... What a choice. Anyways, she's doing that and feels something on one of her nipples, and it's one of the elves. And then 3 of the elves show up, and there's just a bang fest. And I'm like trying to figure out how big the elves are, and also how big, because like they talked about how giant their tongues are and their dicks. So I'm like, how are they not just like falling over? Anyways, there's that. I've got to pick the next one, which I think is going to be How the Monster Stole Me on Christmas Eve by Jade Pierce. It is another quickie, and then I will probably end this vlog out. This is like a pseudo 24-hour vlog almost, or at least 24 hours of time spent total over a few days. But yeah, then I will pick another one to read, and that'll be my last one possibly. I did start You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince, but honestly, I think I'm leaning into the Unhinged versus, like, the less unhinged of them, because, like, so far, most of these have been ridiculous, and I feel like You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince just seems very cute so far, and not the best option to go in with this theme, so we'll see. We'll see where I'm at. I'm going to show y'all what the weather is outside. Our pool has, like, ice on top, so that's a weird sight, but yeah, I will be back. I read another Grinch book, and I need to tell you about it, because it was somehow more unhinged than the last, and that's where we're at right now. We're also just have been in the comfy all day. It's the best choice for this current weather situation. What do I say about How the Monster Stole Me on Christmas Eve? This by Jade Price was the most Grinch fanficky of all of them so far, because we follow Cindy, who has come home for the first time in a few years. She's like 32, just quit her job, gets to stay home for the whole holiday season. She finds a package at their door. It has hot chocolate in it and brownies, it sounded like, and she made hot chocolate, went up to bed, was drinking that, eating on a brownie, and her window busts in, and she's become like unable to move her body, and lo and behold, the monster from the mountain is there to get her. And before doing all this, she was like lovingly stroking a picture of the Grinch, so like she already had a Grinch fetish, we'll call it, which, like, you do you know, you do you. I'm a little off put by it, but you do you know, that's, everyone's tastes are valid. They go up to his mountain, he kidnaps her, they have a lot of sex. His dick is the weirdest one yet. So I'm going to read the passage to you in which she describes it, because I think it's so interesting. It's a deep, throbbing red and green in a swirling ribbed pattern down its length, just like a candy cane. The tip curls back like one too. His tongue is also like extraordinarily long and weird, and that kind of squicked me out a little, I'm not going to lie. I think it's because it's the Grinch. I was just like, I am uncomfortable a little bit with this, and like her name being Cindy, like there's a lot happening here. So that happens, and his jizz is peppermint flavored with a hint of mocha, so peppermint mocha. That sounds interesting. Yeah, so they bang it out a whole bunch. He uses the razzle dazzle lube to fuck her in the butt, and there's some face sitting, there's some 69ing, there's a lot of sex in like this very short book. And we quickly move to the end where they're like, she's like, no, I want to stay with you, which is like out of nowhere kind of whatever. And he reveals he can disguise himself as a human man. So I'm just like, what? His name is Grim also, by the way, not the Grinch, obviously. And we get lots of weird small references to the Grinch movies, like Razzle Dazzle and like his heart growing bigger, things like that, which were fine. I didn't love them, but I didn't hate them. So yeah, that's all that happened in that one. I gave it 2 stars. The cover is so bad that I just like, I really struggle to recommend this one. It just wasn't as bad as some of the other ones I've read so far this week. So there's that. Now I'm starting Grinch and Guile as picked by my member sprints. We talked through it. This is in second person, so I don't know if I'll make it through it or not, because I feel like second person has to be written a very specific way for me to make it through. But I have been read more fic lately that is second person, so I think I can possibly tolerate it. So we're gonna try. This is a mobster Grinch book, so I'm just really curious to see where it goes. I'll be back to talk to y'all soon about it. I'm curious right now. Our heroine is very clumsy, a bit of a mess, and a newspaper journalist. And the Grinch the mobster, is mad at her. And calls her up and is calling her Gumdrop on the phone and is mad because, get this, she wrote an article and called a supposed job he did a hack job, and was wrong in the number value for the job. So that's where we're at right now. The city has like districts based on gems and different themes like that. Like Sapphire is the Bay. She lives in the Emerald District, which has a lot of green space. She works in the Diamond District, like that sort of thing. So I'm going to keep reading. I'm already like 20% in. And I will finish this up and then I'll get to edit this vlog and post it for y'all. But I'm mildly intrigued, we'll call it. Mildly intrigued. Hi. So I'm here to close this vlog out. I also need to wash my face. So I just figured we'd skincare, wash our face, talk about the last book I read, which is Grinch and Guile, or I don't know, whatever, this one. This was our second person POV Grinch novel. Hold on, I gotta put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing and grab all my stuff out, but this surprised me. So this is second person POV, which I don't normally like, but I think because it is, because I've read enough fan fiction this year, I was able to kind of like semi self-insert, because currently one of my favorite fics is in second person. So I think that's helping. I think that helped. This surprised me so freaking much though, y'all. Like I was not expecting it at all. It was just like weirdly delightful. He is the Grinch is Grinch. His first name's Griffin in this, and you are a reporter for a newspaper, and you wrote a story about him that he's not thrilled about. So he starts calling you and bothering you about it and bothering you to rewrite it. So you're stressed, you keep making candy, you hurt yourself, you talk to him every day. And finally on the last day, well, the second to last day, you go to his compound and get an exclusive interview with him. But instead y'all finally voted out after like mutual masturbation over the phone. So this is one where I feel like if you can handle second person, pick it up. I am almost tempted to go back at some point and read the first book in this series, because I just really had a blast reading it, to be honest with you. So yeah, I just was really surprised. But yeah, he's basically like an old school mob movie, but he's the Grinch, but he's not what you think the Grinch looks like, although other people have a lot of impressions of him. And yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I was truly surprised. I'm giving it like 3.5. Probably my favorite out of all of these that I read. And I'm just honestly truly stunned I liked it this much. So that is the end of Grinchmas. I'm gonna wash the face with the Inky List Hyaluronic Acid Cleanser. I don't know, I got this for free. I did like a Sephora thing. Anyways, got this for free. And I'm trying to use it and try it out and see what I think. I'm gonna wash my face with that and moisturize a whole bunch because it's freaking cold here, as you've seen. I hope you enjoyed Vlogmas, and I apologize for being a little inconsistent this year. Just a lot was going on again. I decided to do these things and then life happens every time. So it's fine. We're here. Let me know in the comments if there are any specific themed vlogs you want in 2023 because I'm working on my content list right now. Also, let me know that if you had a wonderful holiday season and what you're looking forward to in 2023 as well. I, for one, am just always excited for the fresh start of a new year. But yeah, I will be back in a few days with my manga favorites videos towards the end of the month. And if you have a specific request for a favorites video or end of the year, themed vlog, any of those things, drop them down below in the comments because I am literally, no joke, spending the next few days working on like content plans for the year. And then also, if you don't want to do that, of course, you can leave me a holiday related emoji of your choice. Pick your favorite. I can't wait to talk to y'all soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day if you're watching this on Christmas Day. Whether you celebrate or not, be safe, happy, and healthy. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get